Reading is a very important tool that helps many people get through life. The process of reading begins with the brain. The brain is made of two sides, the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere. The left hemisphere is basically the part of the brain that deals with your speech, your timing. It helps you recognize things like words, letters, and numbers. The right side of the brain, that's where you remember your patterns and your spatial awareness. I like to think of that as more of my mathematical part of the brain. With reading, typically, we use the left hemisphere. When reading, it is important for students to have a phonological and phonemic awareness. It's important for them to develop and build vocabulary and also fluency. It's also important for them to be able to comprehend what they've been reading. The curriculum that we use in our school district is called Wonders. It was made in 2016. We use a big component of it. It was brought to our district almost 2 years ago. We started it in the fall of 2017. So we are going on our second year of using it. In the classroom, this program is made up of different components. Every student has a literature book. It has a literature close reading book. They have a practice book. They also have leveled readers for small groups and decodable books. There's also an online component that I will talk about later. The curriculum, it begins at the TK level. The TK version begins the student or the learner in recognizing patterns. They have the student learn patterns in like AB, ABC, AB, 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 like that. And as they begin to recognize them, this is where they use their right hemisphere of the brain. As they get older and go on to kindergarten, the curriculum begins to work with more of like the letters and sounds. They do introduce that in TK, but very minimal. They focus on just the letter and the sound. So for a student to understand reading and the concept of reading, they first have to understand that this is a letter, and this is that's what's taught in our TK curriculum. They first learn that this shape is the letter A. This shape is the letter F. This shape and this letter also make a sound. And with that sound, we put many sounds together and make words. So this is developed at the end of TK for advanced learners and at the in the kindergarten years. When a student reaches first grade, they are now reading words, and this is the grade where the phonemic awareness and the rules are beginning to be taught. So in the classroom that I've taught in the morning, the teacher gets the students' brains moving by going over letters, sounds, and blends. And then this is also, I think, where the right hemisphere is being used, because again, it's introducing vocabulary. It's introducing a pattern. Because they remember that this letter makes a sound. The right hemisphere is also being used, and the teacher introduces vocabulary for the week. Students will see the vocabulary word throughout the week in different stories that they read. So when the teacher introduces the vocabulary word, she actually shows a picture card. And on the card, it has a picture of the vocabulary word. And then on the back, the teacher is able to read a sentence with the vocabulary word and also have the students work with partners in using a sentence with the vocabulary word. I think it's really neat, and the kids really get excited for looking at the new vocabulary cards. After the teacher does vocabulary, the students are working together, and with her, they work on their phonemic pattern for the week. So what they do is the teacher introduces, for example, we're going to learn A with two vowels put together and the sound they make. So for this week, that's what they were focusing on. So when the teacher is done with introducing the new vocabulary and they gone over the new phonemic skill for the week, she then breaks them into small groups and they work on, there's 3 different small groups. The first small group is with a teacher, and she works on small group reading. And in our district, we do have a leveled readers where they actually have the vocabulary words that have been used throughout the whole week and also the skill that they are working on. And this is really neat because it's allowing the teacher to see where the students are, where they are with their fluencies, if they're building how they are with comprehension. So it's a nice time for the teacher to really get to know where her students are. And while the students are in a small group, another group is working on our online component, which allows them to work on the new skill, or if they need some remedial help, it also allows them to do this. While another group is reading with the teacher, another group is reading to themselves. And this, I think, it builds speech and fluency because it allows them to hear themselves reading and they understand the speed they're going, they get the patterns. It's really cool, like when they're reading to themselves. And the last group the teacher has is where they work in their workbook on their phonemic skill for the week. So this is what we are taught this is what we teach in our district. I have had a chance to teach the program. I taught it for TK, first and second grade. So I'm pretty familiar with it, and I like it. I don't know if I like it because I'm a new teacher or newer teacher, but I do like the program because it does allow for the many different sides of the brain to be working, and students have other many opportunities to build vocabulary, fluency, and all that kind of stuff. I feel that the program is useful and it should be kept. One thing I would love to have is if it was added more hands-on learning for those students who really aren't big on reading. But that's what I think about our curriculum, the Wonders curriculum. Thank you.